Hey y'all, hey! This is Fiona Golden, and I have a special guest today, Makia Green.
Hey!
This is Fiji Rated, and we want to talk today about all that's been going on with Potomac for the season. Actually, we can even go and dive into some of the things that's happened before we got here today, because we are day ones, right?
Yes, yes. A1, day one.
So, first of all, I wanted to, this is kind of like going to be like a bit of an interview, and we'll just kind of like, you know, bounce off of each other. But what you been feeling about this season so far?
So I just think it's interesting, the narrative that's being kind of pushed. So for instance, I think we're seeing Candace and Wendy in a different light. For sure. I can honestly say as a fan that last season and the previous seasons, I wasn't a fan of neither.
Oh, I always liked Candace. I think she's annoying, and there's been some things that she's said and done over the years that's been problematic, but there's something about her, like her charisma, something that's charming about her to me that's always kind of like caught my eye. But continuing. Now a little biased because I've always been a Monique fan. Oh,
so,
I didn't even know that. And we talked before, and I didn't even realize she was a big time Monique fan.
Oh, always been a Monique fan. So
okay, we are definitely polar opposites.
But I will say, when Candace first came along, I really liked her energy.
Right,
I did.
They were fun. Her and Ashley were like the fun girls.
Oh, absolutely.
And we saw a glimmer of that this season. Like they could have possibly gotten back there, but
you know what? Ashley keep messing it up. Yeah. Ashley, it's Ashley 100%. I don't blame Candace this season. I don't blame Candace.
Okay. So all right. So getting back to like Dr. Wendy.
So I just think that it almost feels like the producers, I don't know if necessarily it's the producers, but want them to be seen in a different light. So they're kind of
they're getting the more favorable edit.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because that's the same thing that happened with my girl Kenya. Although I've always loved Kenya. Team Twirl, yes. And I know she's problematic. I know she is. I know.
She definitely gives Giselle vibes.
But anyway, but I always would hear, like, from behind the scenes that what we saw online was her tapping into her worst persona, and that's what she brought to the screen, probably because she was asked to.
Right.
And that she's not nearly as much of a villain as she's been on the shows over the years. And maybe that's the reason why this year, after everything that happened with Dancing with the Stars and anything like that, but we going too far down the rabbit hole of Atlanta. We gonna focus on Potomac, okay?
For sure. So the Grind Down is my favorite.
You know what? She is mine too. And I had to think about that.
Wait a minute. Because it's not that often that her and I
agree. But let me tell you, you know that I loved Giselle and Robin. And I love them because, first of all, I do like their friendship. And I still do. Like, it's like the fact that they have each other's back almost, you know, no matter what. And I know a lot of people don't like that. But it's just kind of like, in real life, you want your friends to check you. And to pull you to the side, and I think they do a lot of that with pulling each other to the side, and people don't like that because they want everything to go down in front of the screen. They want everything between them to go down on the screen, but then they get mad when Jizzy does something. They're like, why does she wait until the cameras are rolling? And it's just always that hypocrisy that I see in so many different things, including how people. Hello. That's great, girlfriend.
All right.
I'm like, so where were we? We were talking about. I was talking about Jizzy, and I was talking about the friendship between Robin and Giselle, and the fact that I actually like their friendship, even though it's problematic. Oh, and I was talking about the hypocrisy that I see with a lot of people. For example, we're gonna be jumping around. Sorry, but. This whole thing with the Mia versus Dr. Wendy, Mia was as wrong as the day is long as far as how she started the fight, the reasoning behind it. I mean, but what would we watch if it wasn't the drama? I mean, they had all of that even leading up to the season to begin with, right?
Yes.
But I kind of agreed a little bit with Robin about the fact that I didn't find it to be the same scenario as far as Mia versus Dr. Wendy and that Candace and Monique thing.
100%. I definitely don't, or I don't think that it's the same at all. However, I think that same intensity that Robin had around, oh, she's being antagonistic, she's doing this, she was doing the same thing.
Yeah, she definitely was.
Like,
and I'm glad she admitted that she doesn't like, I mean, we knew it already. We know you don't like Dr. Wendy. Like,
yeah, but she also flipped. She said that in the confessional that she don't like Dr. Wendy, but then on her Instagram post that she posted, she said, oh no, I just wanted to protect her image.
We know that that's bullshit, but anyway.
I just love how is that? We already saw what you already said what you said in the confessional.
And so, the other thing from a hypocrisy perspective is everybody keeps saying that, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people keep saying that Giselle should be demoted or off the show because of what she said about Chris. Let me just say that y'all's fave, Faye, and Portia always gets a pass when it comes to that, because if you want Giselle to be demoted or off the show for what she said, but yet y'all always ask for Phaedra to come back and now Portia to come back.
Well,
and their accusations about Candy and Ty were horrible.
There's many people that don't believe that Phaedra should come back or Portia, and they don't agree with it. Okay. Me personally, I don't think what Giselle did was that wrong. Like I think she said she was uncomfortable. Do I think she exaggerated it? Do I think that she overdid it at like 100%? But I don't think she should be removed from the show at all, because she didn't really accuse him of doing anything that was entirely inappropriate outside of going to her room. I think that it could be taken a different way, which is exactly what's happening. It's being interpreted a different way, but she didn't say he assaulted her or...
You can't say that.
He didn't.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. He didn't say that.
The essay. We can't say that he essayed her, right?
Right, exactly. So, and going back a little bit to the friendship thing, it's interesting that you really like Robin and Giselle's dynamic and their bond. But I feel like freaking Frack did the same thing. They had each other's back. And I'm actually interested to know, this is not Potomac, but how did you feel about Candy and Phaedra's relationship? Because they also did the same thing as far as having each other's back.
Oh, you thought that Candy and Phaedra had each other's back?
I do.
Candy and Phaedra?
Yes. When they were the small.
I might have to go back and rewatch some things, because, you know, Potomac is that girl now. So,
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. But like, what draws you to the Grand Dame? Because I'm actually really surprised that she's your favorite.
All right, so I did not care for her in the earlier seasons, and it was kind of like the same reason why a lot of people don't care for Charisse. It was that whole thing, like that air, that old, you know, and Karen still has that, but it's so much ingrained in who, like, she's on TV, at least earned that whole grand dame type of thing, whereas Charisse, we hear that that's who she really is, as far as being a socialite and moving behind the scenes and being invited to all the parties, but we don't really get to see that. And her personality on this show, just doesn't.
She is boring.
Oh my
gosh. I don't even know why she's here. Like, if we're gonna pick
she want to be back on the show, they said it was similar to the way that Dr. Heavenly was able to bring Quad back to Married to Medicine. Right,
but Quad has a personality. Yeah, I just feel like I'm a Quad fan too, but I just think that Charisse is, I think she lacks everything. Yeah. She brings nothing.
No fashion.
Nothing.
No beautiful gowns.
Bring Escala back. Because what was interesting about Escala is that she came in as Robin's friend. And then
she wasn't. I mean, we already know what they said as far as what's going on with these shows, that these people that they bring in, and they're also saying that that's part of what's missing from the elements of these Housewives shows, is that these aren't real, genuine friendships that are being seen on screen. And that's the reason why people are so able to go at each other in a way that they feel like they didn't go at each other in earlier seasons, although that's neither here nor there. But let's get back to, look, Dr. Wendy, and I don't even want to say love-hate with her. She is not. She's definitely not one of my favorite.
Yeah, I was about to say there's no love. It's just
and I'm not a colorist as a result of it.
Fair.
It's just one of those things that when she came on the show. So I'll tell you the things that I do love about her. I think that she's beautiful. I love her glow up. Like, I'm not mad at her glow up, but there was definitely a difference between season 1 and season 2. And I get that she just had a baby, but if you was, I'm sorry, people who will fly, you come on the show, you have a baby, the baby is not going to slow down your flying.
This is outside of the body,
right?
Too, like outside of her having, getting her body done. Like we were saying, just in general, like her style.
Yeah, I love that about her.
For sure.
But she gives me that Islander, African
mixed with Charisse.
That air that is associated with Charisse.
Yes, I agree.
That whole thing of like when people say that she's condescending, she is, and then they're like, well, everybody's condescending. Yeah, it's that. I'm telling you, it reminds me of people who are not from this country, who come and they're around black people who are native here, generations, maybe even descendants of slaves, and they're like, oh, we're better than you, we're more educated than you, we're this than you, and that's the air that she gives me, and it has nothing to do with the darkness of her complexion. So when people always want to harp on why people are treating her the way that they're treating her, as if there's no possibility that it could be because they just simply don't like her.
Right.
I don't like that all the time.
I think that people forgot about how she was in the previous seasons. I think that's what it is. They get in a mix of what's happening now, and then it's like, oh no, Team Wendy, because nobody was really a fan of Wendy. I can't say there was anybody in the previous seasons that was really her friend, and I don't want to say her friend,
but you know what it is they don't like Robin and Giselle, and Ashley and Mia kind of gets thrown in there because of their light complexion, and then it becomes an automatic thing of we are Team Candace and Dr. Wendy, and we don't really care about any of the things that they may have said in the past that may not necessarily be okay. We don't care. We love them so much because we can't stand the other cast. Like, yeah. so
last season was because they accused her husband.
Oh yeah, well that part, yes. Talk about like colorism, right? And I believe that it exists on the shows in many ways. For example, I see people in the comment section saying things about like calling Giselle and Robin white devils or white adjacent, or they think they're cute because they got light eyes, or whatever case would be. And I can promise you that if someone said the polar opposite of that about any of the brown-skinned women on there, if they said anything like, I can't stand that brown skin, whatever, like everything, like when someone leaves in a comment of, I can't stand that light, whatever, I can't stand that half yellow, or I can't stand that Karen, I can't stand that, like, and I don't mean Karen as far as it's like, that's not cool, that's not okay.
But I think the reason why nobody would say that about someone brown skin is because in the past, if you were light skinned with light eyes, you were the epitome of beauty. So, and
yes,
that's just,
but that sounds, it becomes projecting.
Yeah, but that's the reason why nobody's gonna say, oh, you just because you're dark skinned, or
right.
Just because.
But I just think that colorism is kind of like a thing where it doesn't just extend itself to someone people.
Right, it goes both ways.
Actually, because they say that you don't have to be light to be a colorist. You know,
correct.
Like, so you're talking about people who
100% agree.
You know what? I'm gonna save that for another time, because I saw something online. We're proud of your brown skin, no matter no matter what. Okay, so all right, we touched on a number of things. I'm trying to be like mindful of how long the video will be. But,
okay. Okay.
What else did you want to talk about?
I like that you, not to stay on the colorism piece, but I know we had a conversation in the beginning where it was like, I don't even know why they're even bringing this to the forefront. That's not That's not happening. And now, like, you do agree that you can see where some of those things are kind of arising at this point.
I'm gonna just say that I believe that, of course, there is colorism. Is it possible that the lighter women on the show are unable to get over their anger towards the brown-skinned women because there is some underlying bias just based upon complexion? There's a strong possibility that that could be the case.
Okay.
But I reject the idea of just always defaulting to that.
Yeah. I think it's more about degrees. Like, if you're gonna say that Mia, it's okay for Mia to throw the drink and everybody runs to Mia's aid.
Child, they was crazy.
Like, they lost it here. I'm like, how
crazy. And Ashley was the one who decided, like, that was just wrong. Like, that was
Ashley was the only one with sense sitting there. And honestly, I was kind of upset with the Grand Dame, who is my favorite, because in that instance, you don't have to play both sides. Like, I understand you're saying, oh, they were both wrong. Because, you know, Wendy should have never said something about Mia's husband.
Yes.
But that was after the drink.
She said something a little bit like, she didn't deserve the drink to be just thrown on her no matter what, period. That's I mean, truth be told, there's nothing that one could say where you're like, that's okay. However, and this is not to be confused with a but, right? We don't know what all was said in between that.
If you say you're talking about my husband,
right? Yeah, like what if we are, like, I don't think that she was right, but when she keeps saying, but I mean, for me, it's a liar. Like, oh my gosh.
Bad.
It's real bad.
And right before, like, during it, to your point, like, the editing could have missed something, or
because I remember, like, not to go back to Atlanta, right? Yep. But I remember when Kenya was arguing with Marlo, and she said what she said about her nephews, which was, you know, you could take that as inappropriate or whatever. Like, even though Kenya was talking about Marlo's parenting and not necessarily about her nephews directly, right? But Candy, on her speak on it, they talked about all the things that was said that that was edited out. So Marlo said all these things about Brooklyn and everything like that, and they said that was the reason why Kenya had some of her more visceral reactions to Marlo, and why they will never ever be probably like friends, not even friendly, right? And then, so that's the reason why I said that. But I also, I'm curious to know what happens when they go to Mexico, because child, did you hear on the blogs they was talking about, they was sitting back looking at each other's vajayjays and saying which one was the prettiest?
I didn't see that. I saw
they really got over those drinks being tossed, if that was the case, right? Like,
so I only saw the clip where I think Giselle went and said, did you really take a picture of her vagina? And then Sharice said, yeah. So that was the only part I saw. Right,
but they were talking about the fact that Mia and Dr. Wendy may have been up, you know, KISSING. So we, you know, I guess I say all that to say that it's difficult to be too emotionally invested in these shows when it's entertainment. I don't always like when people are like, why did you wait until the camera started rolling? Child, we don't want them to have but we don't want them to have conversations that don't make it to the TV.
I mean, even like people saying,
watching. I remember one of my favorite shows, which was kind of like very mellow, was Hollywood Exes. And why did they get canceled? Because they were boring. People weren't watching it. They wasn't bringing enough drama. They wasn't doing enough. Like, they
even Atlanta these days, to me, is getting boring.
It's not because they don't have drama. It's just
but the drama is not really.
It's regurgitated.
Exactly.
People are sick of it. It's just over and over again.
They should just bring Portia back. Let's see what Simon got going on.
I don't want Portia to come back.
I do.
She's fighting stuff.
Portia, sis, come back. we want you back. We want to see the Go Bodies, okay? We should have got an invitation to the wedding.
Be interested, and I definitely watched Portia Family. What was it? Portia Family.
Oh yes.
Portia Family Rules.
That was not Portia Family Values.
I watched Portia's show, that debacle with her and Dennis. That's what I watched, and her running.
But it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
Yes, it was.
Whereas, you know, the Atlanta cast is just not right now. But either way,
okay.
I am looking forward to what the rest of the season has in store.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll have to save that for our next video.
Yes. Because Ashley.
Anyway.
Yes.
Oh, what you mean with her babies?
No, with her husband. Talking about she's still missing him.
Oh, I mean, have we ever really understood the attraction? So, like, why would this, I mean, why should we be turned off now? I mean, we know what she was attracted to, right? And we also know that she had the daddy issue. So, yes, she...
Fair.
Fair. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you for watching us. We will be back probably when the season is over to bring you some more information.
Yes, we will.
Take care. Bye.
See ya.